this video goes over most of the vocabulary for chapter 1. I also did some problems at the end to help you understand. It is long, but take notes and watch the whole thing for extra help. Okay, let's do a quick review of all this stuff. Let's start off with points. We're going to kick it with all the vocab. A point is any point in space. Let's point at A is a location. It's like a dot. Okay, if we move on to lines, a line is a line made up of millions and millions of points, tons of points, all along an infinite amount of points, goes either way in every direction, on and on forever. A plane is many, many, many lines. We can represent it as a sheet of paper, a wall, the ceiling, the ground. Okay, there's many points, many lines on it. Planes are cool. Coplanar points. Oh, we're dealing with planar. Think about all the points that are on the same plane. Those are all coplanar. 3 points are always coplanar. A ray is when we start with an endpoint and then we shoot off forever and ever, just like the sun. Or like rays of coming from the sun, sunshine rays. Opposite rays. Opposite rays, when we have a point here and we have an opposite ray going in that direction and in the opposite direction, hence opposite, and a ray goes this way and that way. Postulate. A postulate is something where we need no proof. Alright, no proof is needed with a postulate. We have coordinates. Coordinates are represented as x, y. It's where we put locations for points. It's where we know where they are in a 2D space. Midpoint, that's when we have, let's say, a point A and a point B, and I want to know the midpoint, the middle area. So this point here, we also label it M. It's going to be in the middle, and then AM and MB are also congruent. A segment bisector is the same idea, cuts it in half. This segment bisector cuts that one in half and cuts that one in half. This thing is the segment bisector. Bisector means cutting something in half. Obtuse. Obtuse angles are really big. So big we don't even know what to do with it. So it's very, very big. Acute, though, is really small, really cute. Really cute angle. It's less than 90. Yeah, this is less than 90. And obtuse is more than 90. And actually less than 180, but we won't worry about that. Going to go quick. Congruent, if two things are the same size, same shape. Trying to keep this all small. Complementary angles, two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Two angles that we can say sum to 90 degrees. Okay, let's move over here. Look at these ones. Let's take a look at adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are ones that are next to. Okay, these are next to angles. They share a side, or this angle and that angle. So we have two angles here, one here and this one here. They are adjacent angles. They are next to each other. Let's just throw this thing away to find what we're doing the rest. Vertical angles are when I have lines that cross each other and I end up getting this angle is congruent to this angle and this angle is congruent to this angle. That is the definition of vertical angles. It would be the ones across from each other. Okay, a regular polygon is like a square where every side is congruent and all the angles are also the same, regular. Every side and angle are congruent. Collinear points, okay, just like we had coplanar points over here. Here we have all the same lines in the same line. Okay, rather than these were in the same plane, these ones are on the same line. An n-gon is with a polygon with n amount of shapes. So we have a 37-gon. That means that it has 37 sides. Or a square or quadrilateral is a 4-gon. Equiangular, that means that every angle is congruent. These would be 90, 90, 90, 90 to make 360. All angles within a polygon are equiangular. They're congruent. Alright. Let's say they ask us the question, find HJ. Okay, well, HJ is from here to here. And we know because of the segment addition postulate that HK, which is the whole thing, is going to equal HJ plus JK. Okay, we can replace 52 with HK. 52 equals hj, which is right here. Let's put an x there. X plus jk is 30. Now I can subtract 30 from both sides and 30 from over here. Let's draw a line. We can ninja slash that out. 52 minus 30 is 22, which equals x. Now are we done? Well, x equals 22, which is the same thing as hj. So hj equals 22. Okay, let's say if I wanted to find the distance here, that means we need to use a distance formula. We have distance equals the square root of x1 minus x2 quantity squared plus quantity y1 minus y2 quantity squared. Let's continue that on. You know what? Let's just do one of these. Okay, let's do number 9. Okay, so we have this point and this point. If I wanted to plot these points, well, I can plot them here. We know this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the point's right about there for t, and w is 2, 7, which is probably up there somewhere. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's a little high, but that's okay. So we want to find the distance here. What's the distance between t and w? Well, let's use the distance formula. Let's say that d equals square root of, well, let's take our 3 minus our 2 squared plus our y's 4 minus our 7 squared. So then d is going to equal, now it's just straight up math. You could put this all in your graphing calculator if you had one. 3 minus 2 is 1 squared plus 4 minus 7 is going to be negative 3 squared. Alright, d equals, we got the square root of, well, 1 squared is just 1 plus negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. And d ends up equaling square root of 1 plus 9, which is 10. And I would say that that is a good enough answer for the distance of this line. So we have square root of 10 is the distance of that line. Okay, let's check this one, and we're saying what is the perimeter of this regular, ooh, that's important, pentagon. Alright, we know if it's regular, we got something really special going on. We know that this polygon here, every single side is congruent to each other. What else do we know? Well, we know that all of the angles are also congruent to each other. And we want to know the perimeter. And the perimeter, let's underline this guy in orange now. Perimeter is going to be this whole thing, the distance of this whole thing. Alright, we got some information. We have 6x minus 12, and this side is 3x plus 6. But we know that this side is congruent to this side. So we can set up the formula 6x minus 12 is going to equal 3x plus 6. Why is that? Because this side is congruent to this side. This is equal to this one. So let's add 12 to both sides. Let's add 12. Let's add 12. Can I go ahead and minus 3x from both sides too? Minus 3x. We can do tons of ninja slashing here. Let's get a yellow sword out and let's ninja slash these guys. Let's ninja slash these guys. 6x minus 3x ends up being 3x, which equals, what's 6 plus 12? That's 18. Okay, let's divide both sides by 3. Divide by 3. Let's go over here, and x ends up equaling, well, x 3's are canceled. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Alright, I hope you followed that. Anyways, though, we have to go back, and because x equals 6, we can say that this equals 3 times not x, but 6 plus 6. So that's 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 6 equals 24. So we know that one length is 24. We know that this one's 24. We know this side's 24. This side's 24, and this side's 24. So then we're going to do the simple problem here of finding the length of all. I could do 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24. Or I could say 24 times the pentagon, so I have 5 sides, multiplied by 5, which is going to be 120. 120. So 120 is my final answer. Okay, let's take a look at this angle KHJ. We got K to H to J. We know it's a right angle. If we know it's a right angle, it's definitely equal to 90 degrees. The question is, what is angle KHL? We want to put it purple. KHL is the K to the H to the L, also known as this angle here, which is 8x minus 1. So let's find this out. We know that this whole thing here, KHJ, equals 90 degrees. Okay, so if the whole thing equals 90 degrees, we know that this one, KHL, which is 8x minus 1, plus LHJ, which is 4x plus 7. Okay, these added together, this one plus this angle, is going to equal 90 degrees. So if we put things together, we got 8x and 4x. Let's throw them together. It's going to be 12x. Negative 1 and 7, we have plus 6, which equals 90. We subtract 6 from both sides. We then say this is 84 degrees, which equals 12x. And we all know that if we divide both sides by 12, that x is going to end up equaling, yellow's not very good, x is going to end up equaling 7. So if x is 7, and the question is what KHL is, which is right here, KHL, instead of an x, I'm going to put a 7. So I'm going to write it again, 8x minus 1. And instead of an x, I'm going to write a 7. 8 times 7 minus 1. 8 times 7 is 56. That means that we minus 1 and we get 55 equals the measure of angle KHL. KHL. Alright, good luck.